Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and today I'm going to talk to you about dynamic and static verbs. These two types of verbs are important in English grammar, and by the end of this short presentation you will understand how they work, how they are used, and what makes them different. In English, verbs are key to expressing action, feeling, and states of being. There are many types of verbs, but today we will focus on two important categories: dynamic verbs and static verbs. Learning how to recognize and use them correctly will help you improve your grammar, and it will also make your English sound more natural, both in writing and speaking. This presentation will explain what each of these verbs does, show some examples, and highlight their difference. Let's start with dynamic verbs. These are verbs that describe actions, activities, or process, something that starts and ends. We often use them in continuous tense, like the present continuous, because they are describe something that is happening or changing. For example, look at the sentence. They are running in the park. The verb are running is dynamic because it shows an action in progress, something they are doing right now. Now, let's look at static verbs. These are different because they describe states or conditions, things that don't usually change quickly. Static verbs often relate to truths like know or believe, emotions like love or like, possession like own or have, sense like see or hear, and being like be or seem. Unlike dynamic verbs, static verbs are not normally used in continuous tense. For example, we say, I understand the equations, not I am understanding the equations. That's because understand expresses a mental state, not a changing action. Let's go over some examples to see the difference more clearly. First, here are some dynamic verb examples. She's cooking dinner. They are playing football. I am reading an essay. These all describe actions that are happening right now. Now, here are some static verb examples. I know the answer. He has a new phone. We love this movie. These sentences talk about states, things that are true but not actively happening. Finally, some verbs can be both dynamic and static depending on their meaning. I think it's a good idea. That is stative and it's an opinion. I am thinking about the problem. That's dynamic and it's a mental action happening now. Now let's compare dynamic and static verbs side by side. Definition. Dynamic verbs describe action or process, while static verbs describe states, emotions, strokes, or possession. Use with tenses. Dynamic verbs are commonly used in continuous progressive tenses. Static verbs are usually used in simple tense. Examples. For dynamic verbs, we have run, eat, play, write, dance. For static verbs, now, believe, love, have, seem. This chart is a helpful way to remember how each group works and when to use them. That's the end of my presentation. I hope now you have a clear understanding of what dynamic and static verbs are. Thank you so much for your attention.